Good evening, girls and boys, gentlemen and women. Welcome to my live stream, Sunday what will be today? 23rd of February. We're gonna start the live stream 8 o'clock, that means in 5 minutes. I'm gonna share my live stream in my groups as usual, and then I'll get back to you. Give me 2 seconds to share the live stream. Then I'll be with you. You're welcome to say hello, so I know you're here. Let me see. Okay, that's that. I hope you all are doing well. If somebody could give me a thumbs up if the audio is okay. You can hear me, right? I was doing a test recording earlier and it seems like it was working. So, but we start the live stream here in 3 minutes. And to all you people that don't know me, I want to tell this to you so you're not full with prejudgment. I'm a person that loves God. I hate religion. I have no respect for all the religions because there's so much manipulations and lies, and there's also truth in all the religions. But in my world, I'm not religious. I'm just a person who believes in God, who believes in the spiritual universal energy that we all can use, be guided by. So and tonight's live is gonna be, like I wrote somewhere, I can't even see it now, it's gonna be about my work as a spiritual guide and why it actually works. And this actually comes to my mind because I was making a Danish video a couple of days ago where I intuitive and instinctively sat down and just recorded something that I have been thinking about the whole day, and I wanted to make an English video about that, and I just thought, yeah, okay, why not? I'm gonna make it in my live stream. So we're gonna start in 2 minutes, and you're welcome to say hello so I know who's watching. I would love to see the names of you people. If you're like me, you're not afraid of saying hello and showing that you're here. People that are not ready for the spiritual path, they will not say hello, they'll just sit watching. And people that hate me for what I'm doing, they're gonna send negative smileys and so on and so on. And that's how the world works. People with low self-esteem will always attack those who are flying on a cloud, who is happy and who is enjoying their lives. And in my last video I actually said that I wanted to play one of my numbers on my guitar back here, and I'll do that when we are finished with this live stream. So if you want to hear one of my numbers live, hang on. It is 1 minute to 8, and I start my live streams always with a little prayer to my soul group, to my spiritual guides, to God, to whomever should be in the spiritual realm that wants to actually be with me. So yeah, I'm waiting for the time to turn 8 o'clock. It's now 8 o'clock, so I'm gonna ding with my little singing ball as I normally do to get some good vibrations. And then I start with a little prayer. You're welcome to fold your hands, you're welcome to close your eyes, you can do whatever you want. I do it because I concentrate and I feel humbled, and I don't know why I pray. I always bow my head, but it's because I'm a humble guy. So here goes. Dear God, dear my soul group, and dear all in the spiritual realm who wanted to be here with me right now, fill me up with the things intuitively so I can say things in the most simple way so people they can understand it. Fill people up that are watching this live stream either now or on replay with love. Give them what they miss and take away the things they don't need. I am full with gratitude, and I'm humbly thanking you for letting me be your servant through these difficult times of Earth. So please use me. Thank you. The way I do my work as a spiritual guide is that I offer my time to people. I have several educations about working with people, and I actually use them, but I have a skill. I don't know how else to explain it. I have a skill. I can read people like an open book. I normally know how old people are, and I can actually hear in their voices when they talk to me. I hear their soul screams. I don't listen to the words that come out their mouth, but it's like I have a little translations machine into honest feelings and words when people speak to me. And I remember a long time ago I have met a few people that and I actually meet these kind of the way the people they talk to me after they hear me talk. There's a lot of the darkness will always attack the light, because the darkness' biggest job is to actually make sure that no light shines here on Earth, and that's to simplify things. When I feel darkness attacking me, it is like most people say to me, for example, how can you say the things you do? It is not your business. How is it you read people like no book? Oh, that is your truth, and blah blah blah. And it made me think about, is the way that I am actually showing people love and care, is it wrong? Do I have to change something about the way that I care? Do I have to change something about it? And there was this voice inside my head straight away that said something like this. I cannot say it completely like the voice in my head said. It said something like this: who are you to decide if the words that come out your mouth is going to change another person's moral compass? Who are you to decide that what you say actually helps this person? Who are you to decide that these seeds you are planting in people's hearts, is it up to you to make a decision if they work or not? And I was just so confused, and I was so happy because I actually got confirmation on that. No, I should not change who I am. Hello, Serena. I am fine. Rude? I'm not a rude person, sorry, and I'm not gonna sit here talking with you. So if you continue down that road of insulting me, I'm gonna block you. So you choose it. There's always consequences to actions. So I actually figured out that no, I should not change it. And what I want to get into is I know that I have been using Facebook, I have been using my homepage, I've been using YouTube to actually share my words, to share my wisdom, to share my insights, to reach out to people and say, here I am. You're welcome to use me. Feel free to call me. If you need somebody that actually can see through you and maybe give you that advice that you're looking for, or can actually figure out what it is you need to change to actually start feeling better. It's all about what you do that makes you feel bad. Are you willing to stop doing that to actually start feeling better? And I was sitting one evening thinking, okay, how can I reach people more? How can I be at service in the world more than I am right now? And I actually opened Google and I wrote in Google, talk with strangers, audio. And this homepage came up where you can push a button and then you can, within 10 seconds, somebody's going to be connected with you and you can start a conversation. And I was pushing that button like crazy because I have always said that the world is very superficial. The world is very dark right now and nobody actually knows how to have a normal conversation. And after I've been using this homepage for 2 hours, pushing this button, ding, call somebody, and everybody just hang up. And I was like, when these girls connected to me, I always started out by saying, hey, my name is Sean, I'm from Denmark, are you up for a talk? And everybody hung up. And I was like, wow, okay, somebody actually goes to this homepage and they actually don't want to have a conversation. And as I continued down this, trying to reach out to people, I actually got this feeling I wanted to make this into a social experiment. So I started recording my screen because I have not shared this video yet, but maybe one day I will. I wanted to show how superficial the world is. And within those 2 hours where I pushed 1,000 times, I think, to reconnect with a new person, I actually ended up having 2 really good conversations. And with those 2 people, I actually asked them, do you have the same experience when you use this program? Does people even want to talk, or do they all just have an agenda? Because there was one that actually said hello, and we talked a little, and then suddenly she asked me, I could hear this was a very young girl, and then suddenly she asks me, how old are you? And I just got this intuitively feeling that, okay, this girl is looking for sex talk, this girl is looking for somebody to flirt with. And I just said straight away to her, you know what, I'm not here with an agenda, I'm just a humble and loving guy that loves to talk with people. So if you're looking for a man to flirt with, you are with the wrong person. And she said, yeah, I actually was. Hello to you, Susan, and welcome. And I continued using this program because I found it very interesting that this was a brand new way to connect to people within 10 seconds. So I continued pushing this button, and somewhere down the line I found this button called public chat room, and I should never have went into that room, but I did. I went into this room, and when I came into the room, there was eight people talking. Not talking, they were actually really disturbed in the things they said. They were cruel, they were nasty, they were shouting, they were diminishing people, they were putting people down, they were saying the F word over and over again, and children came in, and it was just the same. And suddenly I just felt this urge to like talk to these people directly that were so rude. So I started to say to these people that were so horrible in the way they treated other people. And I said to them, you know what, I'm so sorry you're suffering from a low self-esteem, but to sit in here in a public chat room and put people down and be so mean, it only shows you're a coward. You have no self-respect and you have no self-love. And you're going to lose respect to people, and people are not going to respect you. And I continued by saying, if you actually had self-respect and you actually have self-esteem and you loved yourself, you would not behave badly. because you know there's a consequence to your actions. And I got thrown out of that group over and over again, and I kept logging on and I kept saying my stuff, and I think I did it for half an hour or something. And what I want to get to, you know, I was talking about how do I work as a spiritual guide, and why does my work actually work? How does my help actually work? The funny thing is that I've been doing this for almost 20 years, and I have been that kind of guy who always speaks the truth, always say the things you need to hear, not the things you want to hear, because I think in a different way that most normal people do. And my shield towards darkness is humbleness. So no matter how much shit you throw in my face, no matter how bad you treat me, I'm always going to choose being humble and loving, because love can penetrate any closed heart. Love can penetrate any barriers that keeps you away from actually having a good life. And why I'm saying this is because many people that I meet and they hear me speak, if they at first glimpse attack me and say a lot of bullshit to me and say you are a fucking idiot and blah blah blah, I have experienced so many times that a couple of years later these people are gonna contact me and they tell me this, that the day that they met me and I said these things, they were not ready for the truth to hit them so hard as it actually hit them. And when they were down in their life, when they were on the, oh, my English is not 100%, there's a lot of words I'm missing. When they were feeling down in their lives, they all told me they heard this little voice inside their head, me saying this, trying to explain to them, this is why you behave like you do. And this is what you need to look at. You have to like self-reflect. You have to like look at your inner demons. You have to look at the illusions, all the lies you are living your life under. And they told me that whenever they were feeling down, from the time they met me to 2 years later when they contacted me, my voice was running inside their head. And that ended up by them contacting me. And this is again a confirmation on that what I'm doing is actually working. I'm planting seeds in people's heart with love and care. But because we live in a society where people, they say fuck off, they say they don't understand that if people don't say anything to you when you're a bad guy, that is because, sorry for my language, they don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you. But if they actually say something to you that at first glimpse you're going to be angry, then you're going to be sad, then these people actually cares about you. And this is my point when I'm actually talking with my clients and they are trying to explain to me what they have in life that makes them sad, confuses them, throw them off balance, steal their energy, and so on and so on. I try to explain to these people, okay, you have to learn to say no in a loving and caring way. And this is one example. For example, you can say, family member, co-workers or whatever, I really love you, but the way you treat me and the way you behave, I cannot have it in my life. We have to have enough self-respect to take care of ourselves and actually figure out what is good for me and what is bad for me. I know a lot of you actually understand this and understands that when you come into a room, you can actually feel the energy. You can feel that, okay, this is a heavy room of energy, and that is actually the main reason why I'm not socializing with a lot of group of people, because it affects me. I have tried so many times to go out to the public and be a part of something, a concert, going to a party or whatever, and trying to like pray before I go and say, please shield me, God, with love, so I will not be affected by this. But my problem is when I hear people, they start talking to me about, sorry for my language again, all their bullshit, all their small talk that doesn't make sense anyway, and I get bored. I feel sorry for them. I start praying for them, and it is so rough for me where I am in my life right now to be a part of something that is not working. And yeah, I hope this makes sense in your world, because all the big guys, all the Dalai Lama, all the prophets and all the people that are high leveled in intelligence and insights, they all say the answers are within. But it can be very hard for some people to understand, what does it mean that the answer is within? And I can try to explain it as good as I understand it. And I will actually do it by telling you a little story from my own life. My spiritual path, my initiation to the spiritual world happened 20 years ago. I was sitting in my bathroom, and I've told this story many times, so I'm sorry if you have heard it. I was sitting in my bathroom, and I was crying under the shower because I don't like to feel my own tears, and I don't want to hear it, so I was playing music too. And I was crying in the bathroom, and I was like, I was so angry at the world. I was so angry at police, politics, government, girlfriends, mom and dad, friends, work. I was so angry because I didn't understand why I had so much trouble being around these guys, being a part of this that doesn't work. And I was actually sitting there with suicidal thoughts. And I remember I was crying, and I was like maybe unconsciously praying. I have no, in my past I have no religion. I've never had religion in my life. I've never believed in God. I've always been an atheist. And then in the middle, in that crying thing in the bathroom, I heard this voice in my head saying, I'm very proud of you. What are you proud of? And something changed in my way of thinking. And I start to think about, okay, you're good at this, you're good at that, you can use your hands, you can play music, you can make furniture, you can fix computers, you're good at listening to people. And I went out of the shower, and I was going out to the kitchen, and I was like, okay, I need to change something right now in my life. And this is where forgiveness comes in. I sat down on the floor, folded my hands. I don't even know why I folded my hands, but I just did it. I folded my hands, and I just closed my eyes, and I said, dear God, I forgive everybody. The government, the police, everybody who has hurt me in some way or hurt other people in this cruel world. I forgave them all. Job, girlfriend, mom, dad, politics, government, hospitals, whatever. I forgave everything in one, I don't know what the word is, in one hit. And right after I have said this, I forgive. And I was speaking with my heart. I know that now, and I can tell you that God's grace is running through me now, because my hair is standing up and I get these chills. And this is what I call God's grace running through you. This is the energy in the universe that actually tells you, I'm very proud of you. What you're doing right now is a good thing. Keep on going. And that is what I'm guided by. When I forgave, it was like this torch was lit on top of my head. And I was like sitting there, ooh, and I got this feeling like I just described with the God's grace running through you. I got that feeling for 5 minutes. It was like I was a battery that had no power in it, and it needed recharging. And I felt so energized. I felt so full of love. I felt so I felt gratitude, I felt humbleness, I felt a lot of beautiful things inside of me. And from that day, after this experience, very short time after this experience, I actually sat down and I took out a piece of paper and I wrote down on the paper, after I realized that, okay, I have to love myself. If somebody wants to love me, I have to love myself. If I want somebody else's respect, I have to respect myself, and so on and so on. It all starts within. So I took this piece of paper up and I wrote down on the paper, I don't love myself when. And then I wrote down all these things I didn't love about myself. I'll just mention a few of them. Lying, stealing, biting my nails, smoking weed, putting people down, being a bad person. And I think there was about 48 character defects, inner demons I had to look at. I have to realize this through my own realization of, okay, Sean doesn't like Sean when he behaves like this. So I started slowly killing these demons, and it took time, trust me. It took a couple of years, if not more, and I'm still struggling with the worst thing of all, cigarettes. That's my last addiction. But I killed all these inner demons one by one. And I can tell you this much, yes, it is hard work, and yes, you're gonna fall off the horse again and again and again. But if you have the willpower and you really want to change, you're gonna get back up on that horse. If you really want to learn how to ride, you're gonna keep getting up on that horse even you fall off. If you want to learn how to play a guitar, you're gonna practice for a long time. That is why practice makes perfect. That's where that slogan comes from. And this self-reflecting work made me into the person I am today. Made me realize all these things, opened me up so I actually hear God's voice now clearly. He speaks to me every day, He speaks to me in my dreams. I get guidance all the time. And this, I think, is what everybody needs to understand. That the reason you are here on earth is to help others. To transform from a normal being into a spiritual being. I see earth as a playground for humans to practice to be angels, to be a spiritual being. And I was talking with a guy today, I was trying to explain to him about reincarnation. And I tried to explain to him that if a person, for example, lived a life in cruelty, but being evil both to others and himself, when he died, he will come up and his soul group and God will just say, okay, you didn't learn anything in your life, you're gonna have exactly the same life again, we're gonna send you back to earth, and you're gonna be, if it was an alcoholic, you're gonna be a drug abuser, if you're a drug abuser, you're gonna be, there are consequences to all actions. And if you don't learn by self-realization to change whatever society has filled into your head, whatever your mom has taught you, whatever school has taught you, whatever inner demons, whatever illusions you're living on, if you haven't recognized them and killed them, trust me, you will in your next life. And yeah, and I was talking to this guy because he has a mom that's really old, and one of the things that I don't find it hard, but most people in the world, they find it hard when the ones they love die. They find it really, really hard. But when my mom died, when my girlfriend died, when my dad died, I was like celebrating, because I was like, okay, now they're finished with this horrible life they had. Now they can actually start on afresh, and they can actually learn from this, and they can maybe have a better life the next time. And this is what I would actually love to work with people who are dying, because instead of being afraid of dying, I would actually be a blessed person if I could help these people understand, listen, this is rebirth over again. You're being born 2 times in life. Once when you get born and once when you die. And those times are beautiful times. They're beautiful times and they're nothing to be scared about. People that doesn't believe in reincarnation, I often have this talk with them and then say, how can you believe that you only live one time? If that were true, where does all abilities come from? Beethoven that could write music when he was 9 years old. Dalai Lama that has all this knowledge. It is because we have been practicing life after life after life. And I remember when I started to think about all this spirituality and why I was the person I was and why I was struggling the first 30 years of my life, I always had this feeling of, okay, you were not on earth before you came here. You were in a place where everything was good, everything was working, no locks on doors, nobody steal, nobody was sick. You were in a place where things were working. Because my ability to actually see through all the bullshit and just say what needs to be said, where does that come from? Where does my knowledge come from that I'm able to give you all these informations? Yes, I understand a lot of things. Yes, I pray a lot. Yes, I intuitively get hits, downloads. Intuition means that you get the truth in a split second and you're not scared of it and you're being guided by it and you're gonna let it flow out through you. Most people, when they get intuitive hit, they'll say, no, it's too fast for me, I cannot handle it. And that is where, in my opinion, they are making problems for themselves, because they every time they're not listening to that intuitive hit, that is maybe an angel saying, okay, when you go down that road, it's going to be really difficult. If you go down this road, you're going to have a lovely experience. The more people they deny listening to that, the more they'll go down the difficult roads. The more you want to control things, the more problems you'll have. And another thing that one of my dear heroes, Wayne Dyer, says that if you are connected and concerned about how things should be in your life, you will find suffering. Oh man, I love that sentence. If you are concerned and thinking about how things should be in your life, you're going to find suffering. And another slogan that I wish more people would actually take into their heart is, let go of understanding why things happen as they should. Because when you do that, you are able to live in the now, in the present. In the present is where you are in the flow. In the present is where happiness lives. And people that are concerned about their past, at the same time they are worrying about their future, and at the same time they're trying to live in the present. Those people are going crazy in their head. So there are some simple, fundamental human rules that I think the way humans have evolved the last many thousand years have forgotten. And this is why I tell people that I'm not here to teach you anything. I'm here to help you remember who you really are. Because everything is written in your DNA. Eventually, down the path in your life, you're going to stop up and you're going to ask yourself the same question I asked. There must be something else to life. Life is not about making money, having a big car, having a girlfriend with big tits that everybody wants, prestige, power. No, that is not life. That is what darkness wants to control you with. I was just writing in one of Prince EA's posts, he said something about TV, And I just wrote in that post, yeah, I haven't watched TV or listened to radio for 20 years. And man, did I realize how much time I actually wasted looking at that box, and nothing good came out of the box except movies. And the radio that's full of manipulation. And how I actually realized, okay, how much time was given to me when I stopped looking at this box. And I think people that in those first 30 years where I have been a drug addict too. In those 30 years, I was really lonely. And one of the things that killed my loneliness was just having the TV going. I didn't even look at it. There was just voices in the background, and it gave me this kind of false feeling of I'm not alone. And what I've realized in the last 20 years is, it is when you are alone that you find yourself. It is when you sit down and try listening to your heart and your soul, you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear God talk to you. You're gonna hear your own consciousness trying to help you. You're gonna start listening to your heart. I so often has said to people when I'm trying to have a normal conversation with them, would you please come down in your heart, talk from your heart. I don't want to talk with your ego. And not many people understand it. The point being is that joy, happiness, being happy is all that matters. All the other stuff is something that the ego takes care of. And it is not worth for your holy, sacred mind. It is not worth it. And that is why I say to people, whatever you're doing that makes you sick or makes you feel bad or makes you feel like you're struggling, stop doing it. If you have a work that doesn't fulfill you and you're not feeling like this is the right place for me, find another work. The same goes with girlfriend or boyfriend. The same goes with husband, and for me the same goes for my daughter. I even talked to my daughter and she asked me again and again and again, Dad, what are your religion? And I keep telling her I'm not religious. And when she hears me talk, she's actually really quiet and she's listening. She's 19 years old now. But the thing that really pains me is to hear her say, Dad, you're not normal. You're not watching TV, you're not listening to radio, you're not drinking, you're not smoking, you're not socializing, you're walking in the nature, you're praying, you're meditating, you're living a nice, calm life in the country, in the nature. And I try to explain to my daughter, you know what, Dad, he's very normal. It is the society that's around you that is very, very sick. But because we have looked at this for so many years and we have done whatever the society wants us to do, we actually normalize it. We are in a state of human development, evolution, where we are starting to realize that, okay, just because 5 million people do it like this, it doesn't make it normal. But because 2 people are starting to scream out and say blah blah blah, they're not normal. That is why it is so hard for you as a human being to change from being normal into a spiritual being. You're gonna have a hard time talking with these people in denial. You're gonna have a hard time explaining over and over and over again what God is, how it feels to actually release of the control, how it feels to be humble, how it feels to be loving and caring, and how it feels to have self-respect. It's a stick. There are so many words I want to use here, but I cannot find them. Yeah. If you have any questions, if you are wondering about something, feel free to ask any questions. I will do what I can do to actually answer them. In my work as a spiritual guide, I have very often heard people say, it is like I'm speaking with 2 people when you talk, Sean. And I've realized that because I'm being guided by the divine, that sometimes when I speak, I hear myself say things I didn't know anything about, and I'm actually learning myself. So if you, for example, make a question I don't know the answer of, I will straight away in my head pray to God and say, please help me find the solution, because I'm a solution-focused person. I'm not a problem maker. And that's the two kind of people I think that's in the world. People that are solution-focused, or people that are making problems. Either you're part of the solution or you're part of the problem. It's very simple for me. So, and thank you for listening, and I hope you can use my words. I hope you can use my insights. I hope you... I'm not doing this because I want to step somebody over the toes. I'm not doing this because I want to hurt you. I'm not doing this because I want to put you down. Or no, that is the work of an evil person, unconscious or consciously. That's not why and what. Why I'm here on earth. That's not why. I'm very proud and very thankful for being able to be in this position where I am in right now, where I actually have the ability to be at service for somebody I don't even know, and actually feel their gratitude. And I want to tell you, I don't take money. I don't ask for money. I don't even say you're welcome to give me whatever if you think you've gotten something out of it. No, I actually tell people that my work is free. And my work is free again because I want to keep loving myself. If I started taking money for God working through me, then I'll be just as bad as the rest of the world. Hello, Slavka Vachova. Yes, I would love to talk more about talking from the heart and not the ego. And thank you for asking me. I'm getting chills like crazy right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. One thing that I think is very easy to recognize when people that are talking from the ego is their speed of talking, is their words they choose to express, it's their ability to actually take a breath and not interrupt other people and just like be calm, so you are able to talk from your heart. And an ego-based person would be like talking like this and going crazy, and whenever you are taking a breath, he'll start interrupting you, blah 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 blah. That's ego-based conversation. And there's no problem in for you as a person that starts communicating from your heart through your heart to tell people, oh man, you stress me out the way you talk, could you please talk slower, could you please understand then that when there are breaths or small breaks between sentences, it doesn't mean that you can start talking. It means maybe I'm sitting reflecting, maybe I'm getting some info, or we have to give space to people to, like I did now, to be who you are. And for me, I look at it as this. You have two monkeys sitting on your shoulders. Ego, heart. One wants to control, one wants to give up, let go and let God. And you can choose. It is like the old story about which wolf do you feed. The wolf you feed is the one you're gonna hear. I actually said to myself a long time ago, dear ego, I send you on vacation and I'll give you a single ticket. You cannot come back again. But the ego, the mind and the heart, they has to work together in tandem. They're not meant to work. Either it's ego, either it's heart. No, we have to learn to get it to work together. It's like if somebody was driving your life in a car, let me give you a picture. If somebody was driving your life, is it the ego that's sitting in the driver's seat, or is it the heart? It's all about choices. It's all about realizing, okay, I don't want to stress myself. I don't want to stress other people. I want to be a good example. I want to be able to express how I feel, when I feel it. I hope this was helpful, Slavka Vachkova. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I think you're from Poland or Russia or Litauen or somewhere down there. And thank you, it was a great question. The ego wants to understand. The heart wants to just be. The ego wants to control. The heart wants to give up, let go and let God. The heart wants to be in the present. The heart wants to let go of trying to control why things happens like they do. Because the reason that you give up on understanding why things happen as they do is you need those moments in life where you say something like this: aha, that is why I needed to go through that. That is why now I understand it. These aha experiences are the moment where you uplift yourself. But if you're on the other, if you are letting your ego control and you're fighting to understand everything, and you're like, I only believe what the scientists say, then you haven't understood that the science, they're actually working backwards. They're saying things and then they realize it was wrong and then they change it. What I want to express is that I want to be truthful. I want to only speak the truth. I want to honor you. I want to honor me. I want to be in the present. I want to understand there's consequences to all actions. There are 7 sacred life rules that I follow 100%. Okay, I'm gonna scroll a little. Somebody wrote some more. Susanne Lache, thank you for your honesty. I am exactly where you are right now, and I'm smack dab in the middle of trying to save someone who is maybe dying. God bless you for all your work, and I hope to keep in touch. Susan, thank you for filling me up with God's grace, and I bless you too. And of course, you are very welcome to contact me. And when I read your sentence, I can't help thinking about, remember this please, Susan, you cannot save somebody who doesn't want to be saved. Then you are doing this. If you are concerned about how things should be, you'll find suffering. That is actually codependency. If the word codependency is new for you, Susan, write me on Messenger and I'll send you a link to this audiobook I have that I think the whole world should hear or read. Because codependency is a horrible disease that kills people, kills relationship, kills parenting, kills everything. And if you don't realize that we are all codependent more or less, if you don't kill that disease within you that was actually given to you by your parents, then you're going to continue being this codependent person. So Susan, if you're interested, I have this audiobook. You can also go to the library and find the book. It's called Codependency No More, with an author called Melody Beattie. But as I said, I have it as an audiobook, and I'll send it to you, and you can just download it. I'm so thankful that more and more people are actually coming to my live stream and is actually understanding that this is my passion. This is what I love to do. This is what I'm good at. Yes, I can write music. I can play guitar. I can play piano. I love to play games on PC. But the reason I play games on PC and the reason I watch movies is because my heart and my brain is always working. My subconsciously mind is always working in high gear. And sometimes I need a vacation. Sometimes I need to relax. And the only way I can relax is by occupying my brain with something I love to do. And stay focused on that, and that is maybe a movie or a game. If I, for example, go for a walk in the woods, my heart and my brain is still working. When I sleep, my heart and my brain is still working. For example, I can wake up in the middle of the night after having this dream and heard this voice that said, and this is how I made many of my numbers: go in, grab your guitar, start playing. Don't think about what you play and don't think about what you say. I'll control that. In the beginning, when I heard this voice, I was like, oh no, I'm tired, man. I'm gonna wait for tomorrow. But then tomorrow, I've forgotten all about the download that I actually got. So now I'm getting up. I'm listening to this voice 100%. So I go in, I grab my guitar, and I turn on my microphone, and I make the best music I've ever made. And I always write in the description of the number, this is an intuitive made number. I didn't write it. I didn't make the lyrics. I was just, I was channeling, like we would say here today. Okay, somebody else wrote something. I'm gonna scroll down. Yes, I have spent too much of my life to be a savior for ones who do not want saving and are not ready. Can you repeat the audiobook, please? It's called Codependency No More with Melody Beatty. Again, write me on Messenger and I'll send you a link to the audiobook. I'll even send you the title of the book and the name of the author. It is much easier. So just send a message and send me a message, Susan. And Susan Lache says, my sister is in the hospital, have major operation right now. She is very bad health and I will always stick by my family because we are a close family and we never give up. Yep, Susan, that's all you can do. Be there for her. Praying for her. Loving her. And I'm so glad for you that you have a family where you actually stick together and you're helping each other. I'm so happy for you. Slavka Vachova, positive vibrations to you, Susan. Yeah, exactly. My thoughts exactly. We have to be better and again, you have to understand, many people, they let me say it in another way. I'm an educated shrink, and when I have my clients, when somebody comes to me and they start about all their pains, about woundology, I always stop them and I say to them, you know what, I'm an educated shrink. I can listen to all your pain, all the suffering you have been through from whenever it started to now. I can listen to all that. But you know what, it'll cost you 700 crowns, I don't know, $200 per hour. But then we can turn it around and we can talk about the things that will actually help you and makes you feel better. And that I'll do for free. And nobody has ever chosen the road where it costs $200 per hour. No, they have chosen the road where it's free. Many people will use you as a garbage can. They will like call you up or meet you and they will just like they will throw all the pain onto you. And it is your responsibility to say, stop, I cannot have it. all the world in the last many hundred years has said, just listen. But people, they don't understand how much damage is being done for both the person who is pouring out and the person who is listening. It is okay to say to people, you know what, that is not good for you. If a wound has to heal, either being spiritual, physically or mentally, it has to have peace. Let go and let God. Forgive, not forget, forgive. Forgive yourself. Draw a line in the sand and say, from this day forward, it's all about the now and the future. I'm not going to be controlled about what happened in my past. The thing that you have been through has made you into the person you are today. Yes, that's true. But why do you want to run around like with a bag on your shoulder and you have all your problems there and you're like, oh, I don't understand. I have so much pain in my back and nobody wants to talk to me. Okay, take that bag and throw it away. It doesn't have to control you. It's a choice. So whenever you are surrounded with people, friends, family, who uses you as a garbage can, say this, for example, I love you very much, but the way you use me as a trash can and just pouring out all your pain, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to say, and you know what? It makes me really sad to listen to it, and it doesn't make you feel better, and it doesn't make me feel better. What about if you started talking about solutions, what you need to change, self-reflecting, all positive things, all loving things, all humble things. Let go and let God. It's the best slogan I've ever heard in my life. Okay, I'm gonna scroll a little more down. Somebody wrote again. Please send me link. Susan. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna send the link in the chat actually, so everybody can download the book. Give me 2 seconds. That's actually a good idea. The audio book, here it is. You see here, copy link, and then I go into my live stream, and I make a comment. The audiobook talking about this. And when you push the link, when you open the link, there will be, I think it's one big audio file. The whole book is in one audio file, and then there is a Word document. I have done yourself a favor, because in the book there will be, like, after each chapter there will be some self-reflecting work you need to do. There will be some questions you need to answer. But to answer questions, to sit answering questions from an audiobook is very hard. So that is why I'm telling you, when you go to this link, download download the audiobook and download the Word document, and maybe print that Word document out. So when you're listening to this and you hear in the audiobook it says self-reflections, or I can't remember what she's saying, work, questions to that chapter you've just been through, then you take up the piece of paper and you can read those questions, and you can, I would suggest you to get a little small book and use that for this reflection of called codependency. And the reason that she is doing this with the questions is because when you get to chapter 10 or 12 or whatever chapter, she's going to say in the chapter, go back, look at chapter 2's answers, and then look at the answers you have now. This disease called codependency, you can kill it within half a year. This is the easiest disease to kill, but you have to recognize it. You have to understand it. You have to understand how it is controlling you, how your controlled behavior is actually destroying your life. And this woman is actually, I think she was an alcoholic, and then she stopped and she started helping people, and she ended up writing this book. I hope you can see my link now. Yeah, I send it now. The bag. Yeah, but you know what? Slavka. I'll actually is this Slavka? Yeah, I will actually tell you another story. Two stories actually. I have two really good stories. There's a story about this man. He's walking around in the desert, and he looks down at the ground, and he sees two sets of footprints. And then he keeps walking, and then he looks down on the ground again, and there's only one set of footprints behind him. Then he stops up, and he sees suddenly there are two footprints again. Then he stops up and he folds his hands and he says, "Dear God, how come on my journey there are sometimes only one set of footprints and sometimes there are two?" And God, he answers him straight away and say, "When you see one set of footprints in the sand, that was when I was carrying you through the worst time of your life. I was actually carrying you." And here's another story. There are this woman that comes to this prophet or whatever, a guru. She comes to him with this question: "I want to learn everything that's worth being taught in the world. Can you please help me?" And this guru takes her to the library, and he asks her to take as many books as she wants, and then he's going to show her up to a cave in the mountains where she can sit and read. And they walk up to the mountain, and she starts sitting reading. Once a week, this guru is coming up to visit her with a big stick in his hand, really big stick. And he comes up and he asks her the same question over and over again, week after week. "Have you learned everything that's worth learning in the world?" And she always says no. And he takes this stick and he hits it in the head. Doof! And then he goes again. And this continues for week after week after week. And this woman was really getting a pain in her head. And suddenly, at some point, this woman, when he comes up and asks the same questions, and she says, "No, I've not learned anything yet," and he is about to hit her, she puts up her hands and stops that stick. And then this man, the guru, says to her, "Congratulations, you have learned how to stop pain. You will never understand everything that's worth understanding in the world, but you have learned this. You know how to stop pain. Now go down to my library, put the books back, and go out to the world and tell people that you can stop pain if you want." So you can be walking around. It is all about your emotional backpack. Are you emptying it, or are you filling more shit into it that makes you walk crooked around in life? What are you doing? That's really an interesting question you can ask yourself. Must go. Love to you all. Thank you so much. Your work is so important. Slavka, take care. Bless you. And to all you that are listening now on live or in the replay, if you want to contact me, my name is Sean Riget. Google it. You find my email, you find my homepage, you find me on Skype, you find me on Messenger, you can find my telephone number. Feel free to contact me. And I have this group called Spiritual Guidance here on Facebook. You are very welcome to join this group. I will actually send a link in the comments here, so you can join my group if you want. There's a lot of material in this group that is free. And if you really want to work with yourself and you really want to figure out how to change yourself into a better person, into being the best version of yourself, there are things in this group that will help you. So let me see here. I'm going to share this here in comments. You are all welcome in my group. All is free. So yeah. Okay. I actually talked the whole hour again. I normally say that my live stream ends after 1 hour, so I think I'll do as I usually do. I'll end my live stream if nobody has anything to ask. And don't think about if you're interrupting me when you want to contact me. Just send me a text message if you're Danish. Are you free for talk? Send me a message on Messenger saying, are you free to talk? I know how to say no, and I know how to say yes. And I'll always, if I have time, make time for you. And it's free, it's not gonna cost you anything. But I'm gonna say this, and I've said this to all my clients. If you're in denial about what you need to change to start feeling better, don't talk with me. Don't talk with me. Then stay in your denial, and we'll see you in a couple of years. So that was a little about my work as a spiritual guide and how I work and why it works. I'm gonna kick you in your ass with some love, with some tough love, and that's what you need. You don't need to be patted on the shoulder and say, it's gonna be alright, it's gonna be alright. No. You need to understand why you have the problems you have. Like I said in one of my slogans, you have the problems you create. That's actually that. So, nobody has any questions. I'm gonna end my live stream as I promised you with a song on my guitar, and then I'm gonna pray. So, and this song I'm gonna sing to you, it's called God's Voice. So hang on, let me get my guitar. This is the most expensive thing I own. It costs 20,000 Danish crowns. You can go Google it, translate it into whatever currency you have. It is twice the expensive as my car. Okay. When I hear your voice, it makes me forget everything. When I look into your eyes, it makes me realize the things I miss the most is right here in front of me. Come on, take a chance and follow me. I said, come on, take a chance and follow me. Come on, take a chance and follow me. The things I wish come true if I believe. If I work hard, call back the energy I need. Just pray for your love might turn my way. Come on, take a chance and follow me. I said, come on, take a chance and follow me. Come on, take a chance and follow me. In my thoughts and my memories, all things come alive. I pray for your love might turn my way. I never thought that it could come to this. Come on, take a chance and follow me. I said, come on, take a chance and follow me. Come on, take a chance and follow me. This one I actually wrote both lyrics and text. So I hope you enjoyed my music. If you want to hear more of my music, find me on YouTube and there's a playlist called Here You Can Hear My Music. I've written more than 200 numbers. I both do guitar music, piano music, techno music. So yeah, I'm gonna end this live stream with a little prayer to show my gratitude, and I thank you humbly from my heart that you have been listening in, watching, asking really good questions, and I wish you the best. Remember, you create your life. You are the author of your life. You don't have an eraser. So yeah, thank you for now. Dear God, dear my soul group, and dear everybody in the spirit realm who's been here with us today, thank you for being here, and thank you for guiding me. Thank you for sending your grace through me. I'm so humbled and so thankful for your using me as a tool to helping change this world into the better. I pray that the people that are watching this live stream right now or on replay, I pray they'll find God and they'll actually start listening to your voice. I pray they give up, they let go and let God. Thank you for being there. Thank you. Amen. Take care, people. Bless you all, and maybe I'll see you next Sunday. I'm trying to make live stream both in Danish and in English, but my last 3 live stream has been in English, so I would probably make one in Danish next time. Love, share and care. Be nice, people, especially to yourself. Take care. I love you. Bye.